Welcome, gentlemen, to the second battle of Manassas, Day 2. So, for those of you that have not taken a look at Day 1, I'll make sure to include that either in the comments or the description of this video so you can take a look. That being said, we are playing as the Confederacy here, and trying to defend Stony Ridge from those dastardly Yankees. So let's see how we do. As we do in all of our battle videos, we'll return when the fighting begins. Wish our boys luck. Well, it took the Yankees a while to get set up, boys, and now they're bringing Krasnowski forward. Walker is actually focused on Dilger here, and I'm okay with that. While we have Thomas and Archer, as well as Pender and Greg, focus here on Krasnowski. There's going to be some additional units here, and sure enough, they're bringing Poe up. I'm starting to think we could actually put Archer in a somewhat better position. He'll still have cover, and he'll also be able to join here in on the fight. I want to leave the Stonewall Brigade back only in terms of emergency. It's probably one of our best brigades, so we really do want to try and have it hold its position. So far, we have an advantageous position here at Second Bull Run. Those Yankees are going to have to mount a major assault if they want to break through. And we've already got Pelham and Jeb Stewart over here on this side, just keeping an eye out on the enemy. Now, this is Lee's cavalry, not to be mistaken or confused with General Lee. This is just General Lee's cavalry. He's not in this cavalry unit currently. Alright, here we go. And we could have moved up a little bit more, gotten on the railroad tracks, but I felt that was a bit of a push. So here we go, guys. It looks like Stowell and Steinwehr's division are also going to be reinforcing this federal attack. So we've got to bring every man forward, maybe even Stonewall Brigade, but I'm certainly going to push Archer forward to engage Krasnowski. There's just too many men here, and it's got me worried. I think they could overrun us here if they tried hard enough. Here we go, boys. Let them have it. That's trapped as they're going to get, and they're not attacking us on any other part of the line, so I am content to stay put here. Alright, Krasnowski getting smashed there. Let's keep it up. Thomas, I think Krasnowski will be the first to break, but I'm just hoping that Greg can hold on against Robinson. I actually want to bring Lee in just to harass that unit a little bit. It's not going to be enough to force him to retreat, I don't think, but we can make him think twice about this assault. Get him right in flanks. Come on, boys. Get them carbines ready. And there we go. That was pretty good, actually. I'm going to let them reload. And the good thing about the Sharps Model 1855, it's one of the fastest reloading guns during this era. So we can get right back into fighting and let our cavalry just keep taking chunks out of Robinson. And again, I suggest that if you haven't seen the first day of this battle and you want to see the entirety of the fighting, make sure to do that. Because, of course, it's going to change your perspective, so you can see how many casualties occurred on Day 1, how many occurred on Day 2, etc. Look at that. Looks great so far, forcing Robinson back. They're going to have to decide if they want to send Poe and Birney forward. And actually, I'm going to take these supplies over to Shoemaker. He's having some issues with ammunition, so I want to make sure to resupply those cannons as quickly as possible. Colt's getting routed there. And it looks like Poe is going to carry on the attack. I knew it was going to be one of them. He's going to go for the good old charge. No, he's stopping. That almost looked like a Union version of Pickett's charge there. It wasn't going to work out either way. Come up, keep it up. Look at all that canister shot, just levying that down against the enemy. Let's get Archer to focus on the cavalry here, because they're doing exactly what our cavalry is doing and just harassing. We can kill a few of them. There we go. Put a few Union cavalry on the battlefield. I think that's going to be a bonus for us. Let's get another shot here on Robinson. He must feel like the unluckiest unit around. There we go, another rout. Take a look at the center. Things are going okay there, but we got to be careful, guys. We got McLean and McIlroy. And actually, what I think I might do is take Lee, put him back here, and actually see if he can't assist those men over there. We don't have much in terms of reinforcements here. We'll also send Trimble forward to help these guys out, and we'll send Johnson forward. But like I said, these reinforcements, there's not many men in them. The Talafiero, I want him to stay here to defend the south, just in case. We don't know if they've got some additional manpower, and I would guess they probably do. There we go. Bernie going for the big old charge. And it looks like Lee didn't quite make it through here. Okay, fair enough. Passable terrain. And it looks like Bernie's going to rout right away. A little bit of bayonet combat going on here, but not, well, actually quite a bit in terms of us stabbing his men. And I love that we have Archer there, just absolutely vaporizing that unit, getting hit with canister fire, musket fire, heck, even probably rocks being thrown at them at this point. At this point, I will start firing at Colts if we have him in our sights, and it looks like we do. But I don't want to move Archer out of this area, because right now he has some cover, 24%, it's not a lot. But if he moves any farther forward, he's going to have no cover at all. Get Stahill here, right through the side. I'm sure we're using just a standard M1850-55, yeah. That's going to be it. M1855. There we go. And Stahill, not routing, but falling back for sure. I think they understand their situation. And even McLean, looks like our boys are handling McLean just fine from this distance. I wouldn't mind moving field forward if he can get a shot, but I'm not going to order him to fire. So we'll just push him forward to the edge of the field there. Let's see what he wants to do. I suspect that'll actually be close enough, just barely in range. Shooting. Alright, boys. I hope the day is ours. I believe it is. So far, anyway. And Stahill coming back for more with some additional, actual cavalry units here. But Archer has seen this before. He's ready for it now. I hate that Lee here, though, has been trapped in some sort of bizarre glitch in the game. He's just kind of got to stay here. Terrified of going forward, yet also too afraid to go back. And unless we move Greg out of that position, we're not going to be able to move him, so I am not touching Greg right now. Lee is just going to have to suffer the consequences. Now, I'm tempted to go into my World War I mentality and move the Louisiana Brigade and Talafiero forward over here, take the fight to the enemy, kind of a counterattack, but considering our position, I ain't moving anybody. What I might do, though, is actually take Talafiero, or actually forget Talafiero, I'll bring Trimble here, and we're just going to push him over here in case the Federals break through. If they're going to break through anywhere, it's going to be in this position to the north. So we'll get Trimble up there. I know it's not a lot of men, but even a few hundred makes a difference, and that's close to 1,000, so I'll take it. Manpower, though, that the Federals have here. Hopefully with the route, that'll actually get them out of the situation they're in, this being stuck here, but I really believe that that is just a game glitch, because we can't even select the unit. Fire away, boys. Fire away. We might have to replace Thomas with Pender pretty soon here, and it's time to bring the Stonewall Brigade forward. The enemy is absolutely leading the charge here. We've got to bring the Stonewall Brigade forward and maybe even get into some good old-fashioned hand-to-hand combat against Stahill. First, we'll just fire at a distance, but I think Thomas is probably going to break during this attack. And either way, it's time to get Thomas out of there and put in a fresher unit. For now, Archer will target Stahill, but soon he's going to have to target Kershnowski, and I think it's time to go ahead and grab Thomas and just get him the hell out of here. Yeah, let's do it. We'll let him deal with Stahill, let him get one more volley, and then I'm definitely considering just bringing in the Stonewall Brigade to hold this area. Stonewall Brigade. Gotta be careful here with Milroy. Some Federals getting awfully close, but I think our boys can hold it. And there we go. We'll move Thomas out. And I am replacing him with the Stonewall Brigade here. Doesn't mean we won't use Thomas, it just means I don't want him as the front line of our army. That's a mistake. Get out of here, Millwood. And look at the Federal casualties just piling up here. This is a bad day for the North. Schumacher's got his his cannonballs now. He can fire away. Now, at this distance, I don't think you can do shell shot, but you can definitely fire over some just good old round balls. Flying through any group of units like this, it's going to cause some serious casualties. Poorly. I don't know what to tell you, son. Lee finally just routed off the field. I think it's best. I honestly think it's best. I was going to sneak Stewart over here, good old Jeb Stewart, to command these men, but considering that situation, I am not going to try to bring Stewart over. No way. Last thing we need is a general routing off the field. That would be a problem. What we could try to do is just bring Stewart through the front here, potentially take some enemy fire, and just get back here. But I'm kind of afraid to try, honestly. Jeb Stewart would not be afraid to try, though. Let's do it. Come on now. Come on now, General Jeb. Oh, boy. Please tell me I've not made a big mistake here. Please, please. Confederate gods, do not punish me for this. No, just looking at it. Just looking at it, I don't like it. In fact, I might even try to just get across the river. I think it's possible. Or just hide Jeb Stewart, because if they come across here, and it looks like that's what they're trying to do with Colts, I don't want them taking Jeb Stewart captive, so let's just fire away here at Colts. Pelham's going to have to deal with these guys. I hope that they know how to use those cannons. Come on, boys. Fire. Barely touched them. I'm not feeling so good for those cannons. No, yeah, we definitely can't get across that way. So the best thing we can do is try to find another way to get across, or just hide Stewart. Just keep him hidden. So Reynolds' division is going to be approaching over here, and this is one of the reasons I wanted to keep units like Taliaferro right where he was, because we know that they're going to try to probe, for lack of a better word, every single one of our flanks. And that's no exception. Porter assaults. Oh, here we go. We get a good old counterattack. Pope, for some reason, stalled. He stopped attacking us. Yeah, I wonder why. Could it be the massive gunfire we just delivered his way? He appears to have mobilized for an all-out attack. We have also spotted a large formation, possibly... Oh, I see. Porter is the Union commander here, making a flanking maneuver towards our right flank. Stewart's cavalry was dispatched to cause a delaying action. If Porter succeeds, we'll be in deep trouble. But here is good news. Our first reinforcements are near and will arrive in about 2 hours. It's advised not to engage them. Have patience until tomorrow. Federals will be exhausted and depleted by the continuous fighting. All right, let's do it. So our reinforcements will also have some time to rest. Let's see how it goes, guys. The fight continues here. Day 2 of the battle. But we continue to fight the Union enemy. So it looks like they're going to pretty much just be doing exactly what they did there, trying to pretty much push this flank as much as possible and break it with continuous infantry assaults. And you know what? I think we can pretty much hold on. At least for a little while longer. I don't know how much longer, but we'll soon find out. McLean's coming back, Schnell's coming back. They've also got guys like Schmefelnig and Krasnowski that have not yet even seen combat. And we've got some cannons without ammunition. Come on now. Dubose, get over here. Deliver your ammunition, son. And we see the first line here to the east of Federal units. They don't look too happy either. Because there's a lot of contact happening in the north. So there we go. They're going to actually make contact with Stonewall Brigade. I'm confident that Stonewall Brigade should be able to hold during an offensive like this, but I'm not sure if Schmidt's also coming into this offensive if we can hold. But right now we need to focus on Bernie. Trimble is going to have to pretty much support Stonewall. Let's hope that they don't charge us. And yeah, they did not. So we got very lucky. I was going to say, let's hope they don't charge twice. Had they charged twice, they may have broken Stonewall. I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe not. Probably would be able to hold on. Old Stonewall Jackson. Fight to the very end. But it's not actually Stonewall leading Stonewall Brigade right now. So for all that his support is worth, we don't have it. So So there we go. I think Poe is finally going to break across here. It looks like Colts actually kind of got stuck there in that land bridge. Hopefully they all get stuck and they just can't move through all that mud. Alright, Panda. Stay put. Trimble can't actually fire over these units. What we could do, though, is bring Trimble over here into a somewhat more advantageous position. And there we go. We've got Schmiffenig to route. Get off this field, son. Maybe we can just beat the Union so badly, assuming we can hold on, that we can actually force them to just go ahead and get off the field and not even go into day 2. Let's see if that's a possibility. Again, we want Trimble firing at McLean because we get a flanking shot. So we're going to have to ignore Stayhill for now. There we go. Look at old Archer, man. So 999 kills, but 526 deaths in that unit. This Archer, I mean, you know, he wasn't even supposed to be in the front lines. We pretty much put him there, but he has done an amazing job. Just amazing. Heinzelmann's 3rd Corps preparing for another attack, and that's exactly what we don't need, are additional Federals in this area, but they're sending them. Here we go, Milroy going for a charge against Stonewall's brigade. When will they learn? Damn Yankees. And Milroy's routed. Nobody can stop the Stonewall brigade. Of course, Colts coming up there with quite a few men. That's got me very worried. Very, very worried. We'll take a look at the situation in the east pretty soon, but for all intents and purposes, it's the south, because on my map it's the south, but technically it's the east. Right now, I think Pender can handle it. Pender's got this dealt with, although I don't know. Janowski's coming back, although he's already taken a lot of damage. Looks like Poe has given up on even getting up there on that land bridge. So let's see how these guys do together. Right now we've got Trimble and Acha firing at Stahel. Unfortunately, Stahel actually has some decent cover, and Trimble and Archer are out of cover. This could bode poorly for the South, and indeed it has. We're going to have to fall back with both of these guys. Let's do it. Fall back with Archer here. I'd rather just keep him over here. And the same with Trimble, although right now we don't have command of Trimble. And have kind of gone into a sort of battle frenzy. Let's see how the units are doing over here. So I think they're doing okay, and I think it's time to push up the Talafiero. Show Meade that these are not the only rebels we've got in this position. Talafiero doesn't only have quite a few units here, but he's got a lot of kills to his name, and is quite a large unit. So we're going to push him forward and engage with Meade. But boy, this is looking a little scary over here. So let's get Johnson on the case. We'll send Johnson over here to repel Stayhill and Carr. We just better hope that Talafiero has got a nice fight in him. Meade is going to be a challenge for sure. Oh no! I didn't see Jackson there! Let's fall back. We're going to fall back. Never mind. Yeah, that's never good. So when you see a situation where the enemy has cover and is getting shots on you, just fall back. There's no point in testing fate. Because I would take that position to fire on the enemy any day of the week. And I mean any day of the week. Beautiful shots there at Carr. That's what we're looking for. Again, the Stonewall Brigade is being tested. We'll take a look at their kill count here in a second, but I need to order Thomas to fire on Grover here. And just look at this blue wave we got going on. I'm going to try to get Thomas back in that position. We'll move Greg over here, but man, it's getting pretty tough. I think we're going to have to even move Johnson and Trimble to assist in repelling the Yankee. The Yankee Invader. It's going to look pretty rough, and unfortunately, we are empty on ammunition. Every single bit of ammunition has been used by our cannons, so they just got to pick up whatever's on the ground. I mean that quite literally. At this point, they're stuffing in whatever they see, pine cones, rocks, you know, sharp, jagged pieces of metal just lying around, whatever fits, and firing that at the Union enemy. Hopefully that will be sufficient. Keep it up, Fields. We can actually push with Taliaferro a little bit, and we'll get Jackson here behind the cannons. He can guide that cannon fire. I think we'll have an easy time. We'll have a leisure time taking out Leisure. Sorry, I couldn't help the pun. And if you made it this far and heard that awful pun, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know your disgust. Okay, Field getting some nice shots on Leisure. Ferrero, though. I'm sure you two guys aren't related, Taliaferro? Well, in any case, they're both certainly from Italian origin. Ferrero is moving behind here. Interesting. So they may be spreading out that charge. They're definitely still trying to take Stonewall's position, and I'm really glad we took Greg out of there. I think had we had Greg or Trimble stay here, they would have absolutely been forced out by now. And there we go. Poe is routing, and he's undergoing the same issue that our cavalry was undergoing, where they can't quite retreat. Now we finally figured it out, and he's getting out of there. And let me get Pender to take up the ramparts. Hold, Pender, hold till relieved. Again, we've got Trimble and Archer here just in case the enemy breaks through. For all that's worth, it may not be worth much. Looks like our boys right on this road have already taken a hell of a pounding. And I'm just hoping that they're not so beaten up that they can't still put up a fight. But they could be in that position. In fact, I'm thinking we should put Archer here, get some gunfire down on any of the enemy units here. Just fire those damn rifles in the general direction of the enemy, honestly. Like, see what Johnson's doing here with Schmiffelding. He's doing an excellent job. We've got to do the same here with Nagel, with Farnsworth, etc., but also still try to remain as close to in cover as possible. Oh, I think Bandit, excuse me, Bullet has spotted a Yank here. Yeah, he's definitely spotted a Yank. Don't worry, Bullet. We got him. We're holding this line. You hold that line, son. Alright, here we go. Moving Trimble up. Just trying to really maximize firepower. That would be the military term, what we're doing here. Just maximize that firepower. Those mini balls will tear through more than one man, that's for sure. Although if they hit a bone, they explode like a damn frag grenade inside you. Alright, Branch. Nope. Focus on... Oh, I don't even want to say that. It's like sacrilegious. Fire at Christ. I said fire at Christ, damn you. He opposed to the south. He must go. And there we go. He's taking a pretty quick shot there. And even though they don't have much ammo, again, they're picking up with whatever's around them and still using that. But I'm considering actually switching fire over here to Ferrero. Yeah, that's too bad. We really do need, more than ever, we need some artillery right now. It's just not in the cards. And it looks like our artillery up here is about to be taken out. We want to get Storm even more hidden if we can. Just get out of there, Jim. He drank too much one night and wound up on the other side of the river. That's the only explanation I'll accept. Alright, here we go. Me doing a charge. So now we got a charge on our eastern flank. We broke that one quickly, but Jackson over here, not that Jackson, is a big problem if he can break through Taliaferro. Come on now, come on. Let's get our Jackson over here to give him some support. Just to let him know we're here. And Colonel Taliaferro was killed. That is a big loss for the South. This is a very renowned colonel. I believe eventually becoming a general, if I'm not mistaken. And for us to lose him is a tragic loss. A tragic loss for the South, I tell you. Now, let's hope Branch can at least hold this position for now. Colonel Edward Thomas wounded. You know, by the end of the day, we're going to have a lot more wounded for sure. You know what? Actually, we should have Branch firing on Stayhill, because he is the main threat right now. We're going to have to leave Taliaferro fighting there for his life with bayonets, but I might bring the Louisiana Tigers to make sure we're holding Stony Ridge. We're going to have this Louisiana Tigers as a final resort. I mean, keep in mind, even if the enemy breaks some of our trenches, or in this case, our fortifications, we just have to hold the Stony Ridge area for this to count as a victorious day. So let's just make sure that happens, and we should be all right. Pender and Stonewall Brigade have to return to the fighting. They've been forced back by the Yankees, but we're going to get them up here on the actual ridge. And I'm actually going to order them to do a double quick onto the top here. I'm hoping the hill is going to offer us a nice little advantage. Come on, boys. Move for the south. Stonewall arriving. Let's fire on leisure with leisure. At leisure, I should say. There we go. They're walking right into a death trap. We're turning this hill into pretty much our last stand. I'd love to get on the actual rampart there, but you can see that doesn't look like it's going to happen anytime soon. So in the meantime, I'll transfer fire to Schwippenegg, which is the largest enemy unit still remaining on the field here. It looks like they've kind of dug themselves into a bit of a crater there. Pretty easy for us to get shots down in them, even though they outnumber us tremendously. Every time we get a volley there, a ton of their men are getting hit. Look at that. That's almost like the crater at the Siege of Petersburg, just the way it's set up, with all of the destroyed land, the bodies lying everywhere. Yeah, we might have them sort of in a strange, awkward position, to say the least. We gotta keep watching out, because again, we got Farnsworth breaking through. It's a big problem. It's one of the reasons why we moved the Tigers back here. But some of the enemy is absolutely starting to break through. We've got to keep an eye on them. Again, I'd rather branch focus on Farnsworth. Potentially, we want to take Pender and Gregg and just start surrounding this area, preparing for a defensive situation. But we'll still keep Stonewall here as a diversion. As long as Stonewall Brigade is here, the enemy must think that we want to hold this hill. And we do want to hold it, but we're just not going to give every single one of our men's lives for it. Alright, so branch is prepared. Tigers, get prepared, please. That's our final stand, our last stand right there. Meade is testing our final fortifications here. I'm actually even going to fall back with Taliaferro to hold the woods. Keep the rest of our boys here. We could actually also fall back with Early. Just move them over here. Pretty soon we want to consider Stonewall's falling back, and we're going to do that right now. Trimble, he's going to be our lone Confederate hero. I want him to stay put just to run the clock. I know it's evil, I know it's mean, but with all the Confederacy, I mean, come on now. Let's keep on going. We got slavery, for goodness sake. I think I care about a few cracker-jacks that, may not make it through the fight. I couldn't care less. Come on now. Let's get Pendo right out there, and of course, they are testing that defense. Get Taliaferro here to help. So we should be able to manipulate our lines quite a bit here. Move these guys out of line to get some counterattacks, some flanking shots, etc. I'm going to try to use that to the best of our potential. And in the meantime, we'll also move Forno and Lawton, move back with them, and get Latimer, probably the only guy that's still got cannon rounds over here to defend the area as well. Now, you can imagine, unfortunately, this game doesn't represent this particularly well, but you can imagine that if you're on this side of this cornfield, because look, the cover we get in here is tremendously good, 57%. If you're on this side of this cornfield, you're not seeing necessarily the men on the other side, so I think Meade would be pretty terrifying. Now, it looks like Colonel Walker was wounded. He's, of course, been firing that cannon since the beginning of the fight. That cannon would be hot, I can tell you that. But finally fell back. And I'm kind of doing a concentric defense. So what I'm going to try to do is have like line 1, line 2, line 3, if that makes sense. Sort of like turn this into a, what was that thing called when we were kids? The really hard candy, a jawbreaker. So we're trying to turn ourselves into a jawbreaker. And if the enemy wants to break through, they're going to have to get rid of the outer layer, then the inner layer, then the inner layer again. And hopefully that's going to take them so long that we hold out on Stony Ridge long enough for our reinforcements to arrive. That's really the main goal. If we can make that happen, the battle is ours. Or at least, not the battle, but the day is ours. Let them take take that position and just look at the actual fortifications, guys. I'm sure the medics would be hard at work. A lot of limbs being amputated on both sides. Red coats and gray coats, excuse me, gray coats and blue coats next to each other. We're not in the American Revolution, Agrippa. And look at that. They are just lining the road, lining the fortifications. It's an ugly sight. It really is. Early forward. We do have supplies here. Maybe our last supplies. Supplies! So I'm going to move them up. And let's get Taliaferro over here. Wow, how things change. I mean, the battlefield just looks so different, and I would just beg to wonder the amount of artillery shells, not just bullets. I mean, if you want to factor everything in, it would be crazy, but just artillery shells that have been fired during this battle on both sides. I mean, this place is peppered with craters. So just constant loud sounds, explosions going on during the entire part of this battle. You know, sometimes you have sort of like stages of a battle where artillery is going to be very heavy and other stages where it's going to be pretty light. Up until this point, this entire battle has just been constant artillery sailing overhead, striking the Federals. But it's finally over, and now we have to hold out. It's that simple. Make sure we didn't forget anybody, and I don't think we can. I don't think we have. And I don't think we can retreat over the river, I was going to say, with Stuart. Let's see. Oh, okay. We do have a way over, so we're actually going to get the added support of good old Jeff Stewart here to face old Johnny Yank. See how it goes. Spreading some of our men out, and I like the way that those artillery pieces are working on top of the hill there over time. Looking really nice. We're not just waiting for the enemy, we're actually harassing them at the same time with that consistent fire. There we go, we got some supplies. That's going to be really good news for Schumacher. Is it Shoemaker or Schumacher? Actually, this doesn't have a C, so I would pronounce this one Shoemaker. And he is dead, number one. But we're going to go ahead and stop and just let these guys resupply. Long time since he's seen fresh cannonballs. And these are not the kind of balls you want to misplace. I'm actually going to move Lawton just on the edge of the forest here. I'm not going to go all the way out. I'm just going to sort of border the woods and keep an eye on the Federals. Lawton's got quite a few men in his unit. And Kemper and Hood's division have arrived. So again, we're being advised to actually reserve them until tomorrow, and I think we can absolutely take that advice. We're not going to gain anything by attacking at this point. The enemy's going to test our actual resolve, and let's hope that we've got enough of it, because it's going to be pretty tough, I think, to hold this position. In fact, I'm going to bring Lawton back, because I'm seeing this new attack. It's going to be interesting to see if we can hold it. Maybe we can just move one unit over. Just take one group of infantry. Let's take Law. We're just going to take Law and order him through, but the rest of our men will reserve until tomorrow, just in case. Just in case. I still think we can hold it, but I'm not 100% sure. Have it, boys. Now, they're in that field, so they do get a cover bonus. He's going to have to turn those cannons around, but I think it's worth it. Good old Doubleday, man. He is a tough guy. Doubleday is a tough hombre. You know what? We're going to be... Come on now. We're going to save them either way. Let's just move everybody forward. You can tell I'm getting nervous. I just want to make sure we don't lose. So no, I'm moving them forward. Let's go. We'll still be able to use them tomorrow. And the best news is tomorrow we're actually going to have fresh ammunition. Tear open those boxes of cartridges, get them out here, and get ready to use them. Stonewall Brigade, they're still carrying on the fight. Look at that beautiful 2,041 enemies killed. We've just got so much fighting going on right now, and these units, every single one of them, has made a tremendous impact on the actual battle itself. You to a point where not a single unit during this battle is untouched. Sometimes it's very common in the American Civil War, or any war really, to have sort of reserve units that stay behind and don't actually fight unless absolutely necessary, and we have changed that in this battle. Every single one of our units on the battlefield today has seen some combat, except for the arriving reinforcements. Even Lawton here, yep, 190 deaths. He only saw a few volleys, but a few volleys was enough to get 190 deaths. Fire, boys. Alright, Louisiana Brigade has to hold on to Meade. Pender could use some ammunition, so unfortunately, I was going to say we're going to bring over Lilly, but he is also out of ammunition, out of supply at all. And this just shows you how much fighting we have been doing here. We've used all of the ammo up. Even some of the cartridges are spent at this point. Give him hell, boys. I think Meade will break at this point. And yes, absolutely, he'll even rout. That's what I'm looking for. Let's hope that Forno can hold here to the very end. There's not much left, just 20 seconds. Of course, 20 seconds in this game, I think it's something more like 2 to 3 minutes. If somebody wants to time it, feel free to let us know in the comments down below exactly how long 20 seconds is. But we are also arriving with these units just in case we need them here on day 2. I think we'll be alright. I think we'll hold on just barely. Good old Jubilee early. And this is my favorite. Many people do know this is my favorite general of the entire Confederacy of the American Civil War. I might do a video on him at some point. Come on, firing. Now, this early on, I'm not sure he's a general yet. Yes, he's a 1-star general. Might just be a colonel or something like that, but I do believe he was given that commission automatically. Get them Yankees. That's right, brother. You get them Yankees. I'm going to push Branch up here to assist Taliaferro with firing on Seymour. But just looking at the actual battlefield right now, I think we've got it. And I think the Yankees know it. They might do one final push with Colts, maybe Beardsley. But I think it'll be more a skirmish push than anything else. Just pretty much try to damage our units and get the hell out of here. Let's go. We're actually going to fast forward here. I think we've got it at this point. We'll even fire with Branch, just to get some additional firepower there on the enemy. Okay, guys, proceeding to the next day. So, count, this is not a short battle. That being said, I hope you guys will join us in video 3 once we get to it. And if you want us to get to it sooner rather than later, you know what you have to do. Hit that like button, and please comment something down below. Anything down below. You can even share a cool historical fact about the American Civil War. I also ask that anybody that's new to this channel, please do subscribe to us, and also consider joining our Discord channel, and this applies to everybody, because you can find a lot of other people there to talk about these games and these wars. Thanks again, guys. I'll catch you on the next one.